BLM protests.
Well, Megan Messerly is a political reporter at the Nevada Independent newspaper and joins us now. So, Megan, you wrote a terrific piece about Washoe County. That's the key swing county in your swing state. What are they thinking? What did you find up in Washoe?
Yeah, so like you said, Washoe County has historically been our swing county since 1960. It has only voted Democrat a couple of times. It voted for LBJ in 1964 and then Obama twice and Clinton once. So we've seen the county trend a little bit more blue, obviously, in recent years. Even then, it's still ticket split. They have a Republican congressman up in Washoe County, so it's not a sure bet, and Democrats are really fighting to ensure that Washoe County becomes a permanently blue county, but Republicans are not willing to cede that, and that is what we're seeing today with President Trump making another visit to northern Nevada. He'll be in Carson City, which is just over the border from Washoe County, and really courting those votes in northern Nevada.
Yeah, he was courting the evangelical vote with the appearance that we see on the screen right now at that church. I mean, your state has been so horribly hit, so hard by coronavirus, the Las Vegas Strip, the casinos, all those tens and tens of thousands of jobs there. But the enthusiasm seems very strong. 133,000 mail-in votes so far, long waits on lines that started yesterday. What is it like on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Eric, we're seeing a lot of enthusiasm in Nevada, a lot of mail-in votes, ballots going back, being turned in, dropped off at polling places, mailed back already. As some of your viewers might recall, Nevada sent mail-in ballots to all active registered voters, so we're expecting it to be a really popular method of voting this time around. On the other hand, Nevada has a really long and strong tradition of early voting, which is why yesterday was the first day of our early voting. It runs for 2 weeks. We saw huge lines. Some folks have gotten there early, lined up. They cast early votes every time, and they're, want to make sure that their votes count and they get them in early.
Yeah, usually, the president has attacked universal voting, some of the states that are sending out ballots to all registered voters. Has that caused any issues? Have there been any problems with that, as the president has sometimes alleged in the past elsewhere?
Yeah, we have not seen problems with any mail-in ballots being counted yet. In fact, they have to go through what's known as the signature curing process. So the counties and state are actually providing numbers as those ballots come in. They're saying, here's how many ballots we've received, here's how many have been cured. It's worth noting when the president visited before, he said that ballots in Nevada don't even require a signature. They do actually require a signature, and they'll match it to your file. And a lot of votes are actually don't get counted for that reason, or you have to be contacted so they can make sure you are who you say you are.
And also, the U.S. Attorney has announced that they're going to have a special election fraud prosecutor to investigate anything. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's right. It's worth noting that in 2016, they had a similar effort. We actually saw the sort of statement they put out the last couple of days was pretty similar to the one they put out in 2016. Obviously, they want to make sure that there's integrity in the election process, that people are, able to cast their ballots. They cast them correctly. They only vote once. I would say that this is a pretty sort of standard thing that we've seen coming from the U.S. Attorney's Office, reminding people that it's safe to vote, it's secure to vote, but they're going to be keeping an eye out, just in case anything comes up.
So how do you see it shaping up, or what do you think? On one hand, you've got Las Vegas. You've got the labor unions and the casinos. You've got the Democratic Party machine. At the same time, you've got rural areas. So in some ways, it's really like many states in the country, like New York or Illinois, in a sense, it's kind of two different states. And the president is focusing on the western part of the state, or by Reno, later on tonight. What do you think will make the margin? How do you think it'll go? What do you think?
Yeah, like you said, Clark County is where Las Vegas is. It's sort of the Democratic firewall. It goes blue. They're known for going blue. In the rural parts of the state, we call them the ruby red rurals because they reliably vote Republican. And it comes down to, how much of an advantage do Democrats have in Clark County, and how does that balance out against the rest of the state? What we'll be keeping an eye on is to see how, Democrats' turnout efforts work this cycle. They have been known for their political machine for years. It's called the Reid machine, after former Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid. but they've been really stymied by the coronavirus pandemic. You know, they're not doing as much door-to-door campaigning as they previously were. The Culinary Union, a powerful force in Nevada, they're out going door-to-door. Joe Biden's campaign is out going door-to-door. But you have, you know, the Trump campaign has been in the field since June. And so when you have the Republican presidential candidate, you have Republican assembly candidates and Senate candidates going door-to-door, I think the question is, you know, how much are Democrats going to be hurt by the fact that they've largely stuck to a virtual campaign with those couple of exceptions that I noted?
Yeah, and speaking of Harry Reid, he not only predicts a win by his candidate, of course, Joe Biden, but he also predicts the Democrats are going to flip the Senate. So see what happens. Megan Messerly of the Nevada Independent. Megan, thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you.